We are live. We are
We are
live. What's up? What's up,
love.
everybody? What's
What's
going
up?
on? Tiffany.
Hey,
Tiffany, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, handsome men, doing?
What's up,
Fine.
Tiff? Look at you looking like a soul train dancer. And
Yo, word is born. I think I was a soul trained. Well, I was doing that time, but yeah, I'm a soul trained dancer in my head.
nothing wrong with that.
uh, you
Hey,
think
everybody.
Soul Train came back today would do well, like a show like Soul Train?
Why not? Yes. Everybody
I
gonna be
think it'll
half
have to be on
naked.
you. It'd have to be on YouTube or something. I don't know.
Mm,
I do well. That's a good idea. Like BT or somebody bring Soul Train back. You
Yeah.
know,
yeah, but you gotta ask permission.
you gotta have a good host too. You know, it's all about the host. You know,
Hmm.
the host don't really do nothing. You know, people personality. You know, you got to have a celebrity host it because that's what people want to see is celebrities. You know,
Yeah.
so
Likes and views and all of that.
you got to have a
What's up?
Jamie Foxx or somebody like that hosting it. It'll do well. You know, so.
Yeah. Hey, Donna. Donna is the first guest. What's up, Donna? What's up? Donna is saying hi.
I don't play
Hey.
around, do she?
Oh,
What's up, Donnie?
Welcome, welcome, everybody.
people in
Welcome.
there, but no one else is saying hi. Everyone is remaining incognito. Welcome, welcome,
Okay.
everyone. Tiffany, you want to give them our little speech before we get started?
This is fair use only. We do not own the rights to the content or the music. Educational purposes is our opinions only. Nobody else's opinion, because we don't want y'all coming for us. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and leave a comment. Thank you.
All right. What's up, Jeff Short checking in from Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi. Hey, Jeff.
So today's show is going to be a little different, not too much different. We're going to tackle, well, not tackle. We're going to talk about relationships, especially black relationships, uh,
Black love.
black love. Tiffany had a small issue with the title. I have the title as "Why Do So Many Black Women Say I Don't Need a Man?" Tiffany,
And I was like, why men don't want no good women? It works both ways,
well,
Carl.
you know what, Tiffany? That could also you bring that part to the show. I wasn't thinking about that because I'm a man, and I've seen so many videos of black women saying, "I don't need a man. I can do it all by myself. I can do bad all by myself. I don't need a man. I don't need a man." Over and
They
over.
lying.
So I figure we need to talk about this. Why?
Yes, we
I
do.
don't see a lot of Caucasian women saying that. I don't see Asian women saying, "I don't need a man." I don't see Eskimos saying, "I don't need a man." I don't see. Seems like only say I am strong and independent and I don't need you, Mr. Black Man. So we want to find out why. Why is that? Why is that? Is it our fault, Kevin? Well, I'm sure Tiffany's gonna let us know tonight if it's our fault.
It's both for our fault. And you got to remember how they portray black men, black women, relationships. It's not for us. You see that they're not for black love.
Yeah. What's up, Nicole Coates? Checking in early as you
Oh,
should.
yeah, she said she's coming on today to talk about relationships.
None of this checking in 2 minutes before the show ends. Thank you, Nicole. So the first video I'm going to show, there's actually a black, I think she's a relationship specialist, but she says if you earn $50,000 or less, you should not be dating. Because where can you take a woman if you're earning that kind of money? When you can step up your game and earn some real money, then you should be dating. That's her philosophy,
Yeah, her opinion.
her opinion, and lots of other videos where black women are saying they don't need men. And Kevin and I want to know why, because we're black men. And Tiffany is saying that there's lots of black men who don't want good black women. Uh,
And I need a man. I don't want nobody sitting there telling me I don't need no man. I need a man. Don't play no games with me. It's nothing like a black man. I appreciate him from head to toe, to the rooter to the tutor.
See, that's your problem. You're limiting yourself.
What? I am not dating the slave master
Right, what
killer.
about
So get
Spanish?
it
How
out
about a
your
Spanish
head.
man, a
I don't
Latino
want to. I'm
man?
sorry,
How
Spanish
about a
men.
Mark? Oh, so you saying you wouldn't date Mark Anthony, like a Mark Anthony type dude, or
No, I would not. I
a
am not
Carlos
Mark.
Santana
No,
type dude?
no.
No, you wouldn't. No, Carlos
No
Santana don't get it for
disrespect to
you.
my Spanish people. I love y'all, respect y'all. But no, I'm not. I'm not messing around with Mark Anthony. No.
Tiffany is hardcore 100% black.
Black man.
Black, black.
Original.
So here we go. Here's the video of a relationship specialist. This is on the Sherry Shepherd show. So she played the video.
And you know I don't even like her, but go ahead.
You don't like Sherry Shepherd?
I don't mess with her, but go ahead.
Dating expert has the internet divided. Talitha Troop, she says that men who make $50,000 or less a year should not date.
Courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date.
Here's what I think. A man who makes less than $50,000 a year should be going on dates with people that he can afford to take out on dates. Let's break this down. If the man makes $50,000 a year, that's $4,166 per month. After health insurance, federal taxes, state taxes, and Medicare, that takes you down to about $3,088 a month. All right, now I don't know where he lives, so I'm gonna break it down low. Depending on where he lives, he may be paying $1,000 a month for rent. And he got utility. Now I know he ain't in New York, I know this, I'm not, yes. Y'all looking at me like, where is that? Because I'm going to move there. So let's say he might have $200 in utilities. And we're going to say that he's got a car. Or at least we manifesting a car for the young brother. He's probably paying maybe $300 a month for his car, which leaves him with $1,588 for the month. Talitha, I don't like the fact that you say that if you make a man makes a certain amount, he doesn't get to live a life that other people don't have. That's not fair to him. What it means is he's just got to live a life within his means.
Woo!
This was very interesting to me. You said, I don't need a man. What's wrong with needing a man?
I think it was the way I was raised. I was raised to be strong and independent and self-sufficient. And I was told that that's the kind of woman that men want.
Anything that keeps you self-sufficient and self-reliant is going to move you away from your desire to be partnered. So if you're saying I'm self-sufficient and I'm self-reliant and I don't need a man, that is incongruent with I want a partner. Now take your finger, this thing right here, and say F7, delete.
Delete.
You know what I mean? We need more men to stand up and lead the way. Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way.
I can lead in my house, so I can do this in my house. So what does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be, and that's why we bump heads. You got to let the man be the head of the house. But it's a generational thing, and it's what we've been taught. To stand up, be strong, be the, you know what I mean? And a dude come and everything about you is like a man.
I wish women really understood nowadays how horrible we present.
Everything my good sis said in this post is absolutely accurate. We as Black women in general have to stop lowering the value of our men to money. Yes, money is important. Yes, we need it to live. Yes, all of that. We are capable. But if all they see is a whole bunch of women online all the time talking about their money and not talking about the value they provide, not talking about how we can lift each other up, how we can be a support system. And it's a two-way street. There's rhetoric on their side that is toxic and nasty too. I want us to heal our community. I want us to be better as better partners, friends, the whole nine. So let's stop lowering our men to monetary value and judge them with their true character.
What I'm realizing is that women, especially Black women, are a special kind of stupid. Now, I'm told that they're educated far greater than Black men, but you have to be crazy to decide, I don't need a man. And you know what? I'm still going to have children, but in order to take care of this child, I'm going to go out and work 8 to 10 hours a day. And then when I get home, I'm going to be too tired to actually parent. So I'm going to let my children be raised by TV and social media. And so then you have your daughter thotting on the gram, and then your son being this thug. But you know, hey, I'm educated and I'm smart, and I get to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day. No, what you are is an educated fool, because who in their right mind would decide that they want to go against the very nature of a woman and the reason why God put us on this earth?
All right, here we go.
With the knowledge you gain. Break away from the chains. We helping you grow. The Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite. No more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy. We're gonna challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Let's go.
People, what's going on? Kevin, are you ready? Because I know Tiffany's going to have to take her earrings off tonight because we are going on this topic. Why do so many black women say, I don't need a man? Tiffany's rebuttal is a lot of black men out there are also refusing good women. One issue I had with is what Sherry Shepherd said in that first video when the lady said, if you make less than 50,000 a year, you shouldn't date because you can't afford it. Something to that effect. I know I'm not saying exactly.
No, that's something that's what she said.
But
coming from a light-skinned sister.
Sherry Shepherd said, she said, even if you make 50,000, you should date someone kind of like stay within your category, stay within your lane.
You're supposed to, yes.
But isn't dating about love? Or are we going to admit right off the bat, right now, dating is about money? Is that what relationships is about today? Money? Because Kevin and I was talking before the show got started. We talk about Hollywood superstars who make millions, and then one married a yoga instructor, one married a waitress. So obviously, you know what I mean? They did not date within their lane, right?
Because rich men will go after women that are attractive and women that they connect to emotionally and not worried about their pocketbook. Like, for example, let's say, let's name a famous black actress. Somebody give me a famous black actress real quick. Come on.
That's married?
Who?
You saying that's married?
No, just a famous black actress.
Halle Berry.
Okay, Halle Berry, for example, she's a famous black actress. Halle Berry goes to a restaurant and I'm there busting tables. She might look at me and go, hey, that dude's handsome. In her brain, she might say, that's a handsome dude busting those tables. But that's as far as they're going to go, is in her mind going, oh, look at him, he's handsome. She is not going to slip me a number and say, hey, you hit her up later. But Denzel, if he was single, could be in a restaurant and see the waitress, and the waitress could be fine as hell, looking like Halle Berry, and Denzel will hit on that waitress and get that number, and then the rest could be history. So why is it that men don't look at women like that? Like, men go after beauty before they go after money. Women tend to go after men that's on their level. For us, you got to be in my tax bracket, or this is not going to work out very well.
Well, I think that's the way society is today. Society is about money, and who make money and stuff like that. I think it's all about connection. When you walk in the door or you see somebody and you have an immediate connection. I don't think we have connection today. Everybody is just infatuated with the looks, the physical, and not knowing who a real person is. And this is why you go into dating, where if you are attracted to somebody and you see somebody that you do like, regardless to what they do, you don't know what they do, or you could be meeting them at their job or whatever. If you are connected to them, you're not worrying about that thing. So if you're dating, you get to know a person, you get to know a character, and that can be able to let you know if you want to go on to the next steps. I don't go in looking for a man of what he's making. You understand? That's not the first thing I think. I'm thinking like, can we sit down and talk? Can we communicate? Do I like him? Do he smell nice? Is his hands clean? Is his ass clean? Like, I'm looking at these things first, and then we'll get to those next steps. It's steps to, relationships. And when women saying we don't need a man, we need a man. I don't care what you say. We don't need today. We how can you say we are more self-sufficient. Yes, we work. We are entrepreneurs. Where years ago, we were homemakers, that we were more in the home. But now we are working because what's society today? Society today is 2 income households, maybe even 3 income households. You need money to be able to survive today. So yes, you want your partner to be able, y'all can be able to take care of each other, not just one taking care of each other. We can take care of each other.
Well, what's up, Gina? Gina, our resident Caucasian lady.
Hey, Gina.
Gina says it's not fun to date someone who is broke and cannot do the things we do as as a successful woman. LOL.
Right.
It's not, But what I mean, if you love somebody, it's almost like if you love somebody, if you love your husband, let's say you're married, you love your husband, he gets into a car accident. He's a quadriplegic, he's in a wheelchair for life. Are you going to say, well, we can't do the things we used to do, so I'm out?
Yeah, they will, Carl. I'm asking that question for you. And unless you're Christopher Reeves or Teddy Pendergrass, who have a few $1 million in the bank at the time of that, accident, and you end up like that, then that changes the game, because Teddy Pendergrass and Christopher Reeves, may they both rest in peace, continue to have marriages after their accidents that cost them, to end up like that. So yeah, those guys had millions of dollars in the bank. But if Christopher Reeves or Teddy Pendergrass was working at Walmart at the time of those accidents, most likely those relationships will end, Carl. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, some will end. Some you have ride or die women. You have ride or die men that will take care of their partners, wives, husbands to their last breath if they get sick or they become paraplegic or even become blind. That's true love right there. You understand? Because you know that they're there and they supporting you. But you do have people that will pick up and leave your ass right there.
It's a money thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's back to that point, like Carl said. Look, it's all about money in this day and age. I mean, things have changed. I'm sure our parents, things were different in that era. And
yes,
I've been married twice, and my first marriage, I remember my first date with my first wife was at a McDonald's.
Look,
So,
it's very
and we ended up
nice
getting
and
married.
simple.
Took her to McDonald's, and we were married. So I didn't take her to a 5-star, 4-star restaurant. We just freaking got 2 cheeseburgers. It was a wrap.
Now that is exactly what I'm talking about. Dating is supposed to be about getting to know the person, and if you really love that person, you know what I mean. But it seems everything else seems to be about money. Money. What can you do for me? What kind of job you have? What kind of car do you drive? What kind of house you live in?
That's society today.
Saying that they can't do the things that she would love to do because the guy is broke. Okay, but if you love the guy, you know what I mean?
Well, she's not going to love the guy if he doesn't have, it's fake love then, because you're not going to love the guy if he don't have enough money to fly to Italy with you over the course of the summer and hang out at the Island of Capri, That's all I'm saying.
Think about it.
You don't have money to go to Italy with what you call them, then you're not going, right? So, I mean, she's not going to date you. That's basically what she just said on the show, right?
What I'm saying is, if you truly love the guy, it doesn't matter if you go to a 5-star restaurant, if you go to Cracker Barrel, you're with the person you love. Nothing else matters. I don't care if I'm eating sushi or if I'm eating caviar or I'm eating McDonald's burger or if I'm eating. Doesn't matter as long as I'm with the person I love. It should not matter. So
you're 100.
But see, that doesn't happen all the time, Carl. That happens 1 in every 10,000 relationships, probably, right?
No,
so, for example, like in my relationship I'm in right now with Patricia, that's true, Carl. I can have a hamburger with McDonald's with Patricia, or we can go to Roof Chris Steakhouse. It doesn't matter at this point, right? So, but with a lot of relationships, it got to be Roof Chris every night. Steakhouse every night.
It's a difference.
You can't go to McDonald's or Burger King. It just, I can't explain it, but
You love Patricia. It's a difference between dating somebody and loving somebody. When you love somebody, nothing matters. You know
we had
that. We
we
can
had to
go
we
through
had to we had to
anything
hook up the
together.
date though, right? We had
But
to
if
date with the
huh?
date. We had to hook up the date, right? I mean,
Right. But I'm saying
when
that was because y'all
I
was
first met
into each
Patricia,
other.
which was many years ago, I was driving
Right.
a shitty, beat up uh, uh, Nissan back in the '80s when we first met. It was a horrible
But
car,
she was into you. She was into you and you were into her.
So,
You
right?
understand?
so
So
you're
you don't
thinking
have no problem with doing those things or having that little moment. A lot of these young girls, like you saw one girl, oh, if you ain't taking me to the Cheesecake Factory or you ain't taking me there, that is a red flag for a man right there. You understand? And I'm a true believer. Don't go out on a date with somebody or ask them to go on a date if you cannot afford the date. You understand? You can't do that. You can be able to do a romantic date and don't have to spend a lot. Because like we said, if the person is into you, you don't have to worry about that because you're gonna enjoy it. If it's a burger, a Frank, a dirty man Frank, you don't care about that.
All right. So Tiffany, you're a woman, right? So let's say
Yes,
if,
I
if
am. I have a vagina.
thanks for pointing that out there, RuPaul.
I
Anyway,
have to tell, I have to let you know on these stages.
so look,
if let me say this, anyone wants to jump in on this topic, you want to join the panel, just let me know. I already put the link in the chat. I'll put it again. Go ahead, Kevin.
please join. So yeah, so if you meet a man, Tiff, uh, do you think this brother got it going on? His brother got a good job on Wall Street. His brother owns his own restaurant in New York City somewhere. His brother
No,
got a nice car. Or,
no, I don't think like that
you
for the
don't think
man.
like that?
No, the first thing I look at if we have a connection. If I look in his eyes and I'm like, "Ow," and then a woman, I'm not gonna lie to you. We look you up from head to toe. We check everything out. And what's the first things we look at? First of all, we want to make sure you look good, that we like. You brush your goddamn teeth, okay?
Tiffany, is it true that a woman knows within 4 or 5 seconds
Yes,
if she's on
yes.
with a man?
Within at least 4 to 5 minutes, she'll tell you if she want to do him or if she don't want to do him. That's why I'm saying you look them from head to toe. You looking at the hands, you looking at the feet, you looking at all of these things to see if you know what is that somebody I like, is that my type, and then you make it to that next step and you communicate, and then you have a date. You understand? And once you have the date, and I wrote this down, when you go on a date, you are learning a person's character, a person's personality, and then you want to check their mental health because you will figure out if somebody ain't right in the first date.
Hey, Carl, it
You
only take. See, she said 5 minutes. For a man, it's like
Seconds.
7 seconds.
first of all, y'all do anything.
Exactly. We don't care.
No,
It's
we care.
37 seconds. That's all it takes to look up and down and go,
So,
yeah.
so Gina is asking you, Tiffany, would you look into a homeless man's eyes and you could fall in love with
That's too much.
No, because that's not what I'm into. I'm not into homeless men. I'm not doing the Ashford and Simpson.
But that
Okay?
worked out pretty well. Speaking of
It
Ashford
did,
and
but it
Simpson, didn't
still
it?
was weird. It still was weird, and I salute her. I salute her.
Weird. The
Some
dude
people can
turned out to be one
clean
of the most
up.
talented songwriters and
No, I
entertainers
didn't say they
in the world.
wasn't. I didn't say they
Okay.
wasn't.
Well,
I'm for it. They fell in love. They did what they have to do, but I'm not into build a man. You understand? I already did bums already, in the comment. Why do I want to do another bum? So
but he wasn't a bum.
no, I'm just no, he was in a
He was down
homeless
on his luck.
shelter.
He was down on his luck, and a good woman turned out to be an amazing husband and partner for her the rest of his life. And he lived to be, I think, 74 until he passed away. But I'm saying they had an amazing relationship and bond that most people, thousands of couples, millions of couples will never have. All
No, listen,
because
I
she
get
gave him
it.
a chance.
I get it. And you got to remember too, everybody, not everybody was raised to see a good relationship. We come from an era now, especially the young people today, come from an era of broken homes, broken relationships. a mother not in the house, a father not in the house, or a mother talking bad about a father, or a father talking bad. You understand? We have a lot of toxic things that's going on in family unit now. I was blessed, thank God. I was blessed to have a mother and a father. I was raised with them. They were married when married before I got together. They had us. So they did it traditionally. So I look at life and deal with life totally different. That's why I said I don't believe in somebody saying that they don't need a man. You don't need a man for stress. And a woman don't need a man for stress. I think it's 50-50. We just want to be loved. And if you feel like you can't love a person, or you cannot be in a relationship, or you can't afford them, move on. You understand what I'm saying? Move on.
So let me ask Gina if she's still watching. What's your like Gina? Because we're here to learn. So I just want to learn how this works. So I don't even know if you're single or not, or whatever. It's not about business, but if you want to share that. But I was curious. Obviously, you do pretty well for yourself, I believe. So every time I see your Facebook page, you're traveling the world somewhere, buying big homes. So you're doing okay for yourself. So what's your when you meet a man, like what's your criteria? What do you look for? And when you meet a guy, it got to be physical for you to look at him? But then, how early do you go in on trying to find out what his business background is and his financial situation?
Yeah, Gina is still here. Gina also said, Kevin, I have given many men chances. Oh, and he has so much potential. No more. I want to be alone. So she's given men chances, the men who have potential. And this is another thing, some women would see a guy going to law school and say, okay, he's going to law school. He's trying to make something of himself. This is good. Other women, like Gina, would say, come back to me when you own the law firm.
All right, so yeah, that's my point. So
No, I
Gina's
don't
fed
think
up
she
at
was
this
saying
point.
that. I don't
Gina's
think she
fed
was
up,
saying
right?
that.
Gina's giving men lots of chances, and she wants to be single now.
Thank you.
So those men that she gave chances to were men with good jobs, good careers,
That's what
probably
I
lots
think
of
she
money in the
meant.
bank, right? She didn't give any guy a chance that wasn't in her tax bracket. Because if she did, maybe she'd be happy because that person probably would have treated her like a queen and they could have built an empire together or built on something, right? So am I wrong on this?
My point is, though, if you love the person, why does that matter? I truly feel with every fiber of my being, if you truly love the person, okay, so they're not doing unless they're on drugs or they're an alcoholic and it's really toxic relationship. But if they're trying and things are just not working out, and they're just not making enough money to make you happy, they're making some money, right? But they're not making it the kind of money you hope they would make. If you truly love that person, Gina's coming on. If you truly love that person, you would stick with them. You don't kick them to the curb. Gina, you there?
Yeah, how do I?
Hello, Gina. How you doing?
She has to take the camera off.
I have to turn this down.
Yeah, turn down your show. Watching us, turn it down because it's gonna echo.
Yeah, turn off the show, whatever, on the phone. If you're watching on the phone, you probably have to turn that off.
Oh.
Or just mute it. You can mute it, Gina. Just mute what you're watching.
Okay. I mute you and then I'll be able to hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't figure out. Okay.
See, that's it, Gina. I only date women that know how to work cell phones.
Then I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Gina, what you have to do is whatever you're watching with us, you need to mute that and then just keep your phone on. But you just need to mute whatever you're watching with us. If it's on your TV, your tablet, just pause it or
No, I think
mute
she needs
it.
to switch over to the camera. She's on the thing, right? So she needs to put the camera on, not the.
All right, Gina, let us know when you're ready. But okay, so Charlene chimed in. What's up, Charlene? Charlene said, if the love is there, the money should not matter, which is my point. If the love is there, the money should absolutely
Right. No, you're 100% right, but don't approach somebody that you can't take them out or you can't do nothing.
There's still some of us that money is not the end and be all. Yeah, there's still some, but I mean, you see so many women who want to be taken to the best restaurants on the first date. You know, you see so many videos of women are saying the guy needs to spend $200 on the first date.
And the guy don't got it. He don't got it. He know his ass don't got it. He just trying to get in that ass. Or he
So is
just
there any
trying to.
men like that? Is any men out there that feel like, you know, their women have to be rolling in the buckets, you know what I'm saying? And
No.
No, I don't think that men want women to be rolling in the buckets because they are the provider. But I want to be comfortable with a man that he don't have a problem with a woman making money also. You know, because first of all, I'm gonna be honest with you, relationship is somewhat of a partnership too. Because now that you are in a union, once you make that step to becoming a union with with whoever you was dating, that's a partnership now. You can't do stuff by yourself no more. You understand? You have to think about your partner and what your partner would feel or what they would think before you make major decisions about each other. And I think that's, again, I'm telling you, a lot of people are not taught how to have proper relationship, healthy relationships because they never saw it. Or you're going to have to teach them how to love you, how to care for you.
Tell me if you guys agree with what Ilana Van Zandt, you know, she had a show one day.
I love her. I love her.
Tell me if you agree with what she says here, because I have some issues with what she says.
Let's go.
I just ended a relationship, a 14-year relationship. You know why? After 14 years, I recognize he don't love me the way I want to be loved. I just don't want to be loved like this. See, I don't get to tell people how to love me. I get to see how they love and then choose if I want to participate. So for 14 years, I was hoping, okay, he's going to get it. 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 And then I said, you know what? He ain't getting it. And it's okay. I don't choose to participate in the way he loves. I got a bunch of degrees, and it took me 14 years to get that. Thank God I couldn't get pregnant. Ooh. So, you know, you get to make that choice and look at carefully and consciously and honestly, ruthlessly, what you did and how you did it so that you don't do that ever again.
What was wrong with that, Carl?
What was wrong with? She said she's been a man for 14 years, and
she was with her man for 14 years. Yes,
she's hoping that he would love her the way she wants to be loved.
Correct.
Watching to see if he's going to ever do that the way she wants to be loved. She says nothing.
He's gonna change.
She says nothing to him. He has no idea she's thinking this shit. He has no clue how she wants to be loved, but he's supposed to figure it out.
What you just said. What you just said. Just
figure it out. But she's saying she's watching him to see if he's ever gonna. And she said, "I'm watching and I'm watching," and he doesn't do it.
You just said when you love somebody, nothing matters. So you would think that they will go. You know why I can understand her? Because I done been there. Okay, I've been single for almost 16 years, loving somebody that I thought would love me the way I want them to love me.
That's my point, Tiffany. She is saying she is watching to see if this man is going to love her the way she wants to be loved. She has not said anything to him. She hasn't told him, you know, I wish you would do this or maybe do that. Give him, you know what I mean? Show him, tell him.
That's the point. Why should we have to tell you how to love me when you're supposed to already know how to love me?
Well, this is the problem. That women wants us to be mind readers.
No, you said if it doesn't matter when you into somebody and you love somebody, nothing matters. You're gonna love them regardless. He didn't know how to love her, just like the person that I love didn't know how to love me.
But my point, the thing she said that got to me is that she said nothing. She just said, "I was watching to see if he's ever gonna figure it out." Basically, is what she's saying. She's watching to see if he's gonna figure it out.
You know how many women sit around and they wait and hope that things will change.
If I want something from a woman or in a relationship, I would say, men would say something. Hey, baby, you know, this, you know what I mean? Something, we would say something.
So that gets into communication. We don't have good communication with each other.
It's not
that's communication.
Men have good communication. I think majority. I'm not going to say all, but a majority.
What?
A majority of women don't know how to verbalize. She just said it. Ilana just said it right there. She said it. She said nothing to the guy, but she wanted him to figure out what she was thinking. Did I miss? Let me play this again because I might have missed something.
I just ended a relationship, a 14-year relationship. You know why? After 14 years, I recognize he don't love me the way I want to be loved. I just don't want to be loved like this. See, I don't get to tell people how to love me. I get to see how they love and then choose if I want to participate. So for 14 years, I was hoping, okay, he's going to get it. 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 And then I said, you know what? He ain't getting it. And it's okay. I don't choose to participate in the way he loves. I got a bunch of degrees, and it took me 14 years to get that. Thank God I couldn't get pregnant. Ooh. So, you get to make that choice and look at carefully and consciously and honestly, ruthlessly, what you did and how you did it so that you don't do that ever again.
Right.
What did I miss?
You missed a lot. I don't think anything was wrong with that. I think that because I have been there, you will never understand because you're not a man. I mean, you're not a woman. You will never understand what a woman feel when she loves a man and she want him to see her. And we right here, but you don't see us. And you wonder why men come up with divorce. You wonder why relationships don't last long because you don't see us.
Because she said, here's what I wrote. She said, I don't get to tell you how to love me. I see how you love, then I choose. I don't get to tell you, which means she is saying nothing. She's watching this man act a certain way. She doesn't like it, but she says nothing.
I don't think that was how she said
no?
it.
You don't think so? You think I'm missing something?
Yeah, I think you're missing a lot. She was in a relationship hoping that he would love her the way she wanted to be loved. You understand? It didn't work out like that. And us women, we give men many chances. We do so much. We give you so much balls. We give you so much clues. Do this, do that, and you still don't recognize it. But you just sat here and told me that y'all men communicate better than women. No, some of the times y'all don't even want to communicate.
You give hints. You give hints, and you expect us to pick up on your hints. And I can tell you right now, men are not great at picking up on hints. You got to come right out and say what it is you want.
If I have to tell you how to love
you, want me to hold your hand when
you're
walking. If you want me to hold your hand when we're walking the street, if you know what I say, hey, hold my hand. You know, if you want me to do what, just tell me to do it.
I want to ask you something, Carl. Did you see your mom and dad love each other and hold each other's hand in the street and give love and all of that? Was they affectionate to each other?
No, not in front of me.
Oh, see, that's the difference. I saw that. I saw that. I saw the love my mother and father had for each other. It was like, wow. Through everything. My father had a stroke. My mother still was there. My mother was sick. My father was there. You understand what I'm saying? So I look and see things totally different, you know. So I get it. I get it. You see what you hear from her, but I see that she tried and she had to move on. And there's many women out there that's be in relationships for years and years and years, hoping things would change, hoping things would get better, and it doesn't. And you finally have to just let go and move on and take care of self.
So Norman Staley said, Carl, that's 14 years. So I think she mean like for 14 years, Ilana, whatever her name is, was trying to get Iana was trying to get them for 14 years. She felt like he should get it right now. But I don't know. My point is, how can he get it if you say nothing?
It's many relationships that's been in it for a long time and they haven't said anything.
So
Gina, you here? Gina, is she on mute? Is she finally get on?
She's still getting an echo, I think.
We need to have a woosah moment for Tiffany.
Yeah. So so Nicole said, how long are you supposed to be with that person before they can recognize how to love you.
Listen,
People need, you know what I'm a big believer in? People need to sit down and in relationship, have talks.
communication.
Can
You know
can
what
you
I mean?
hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear you
Yeah.
now.
Hello, I missed you guys. It's been
Oh.
since 2020.
Okay, Jim. So what is your take? What do you disagree or agree with?
First of all, I want to address Kevin. Kevin, I've dated poor guys. I've dated all kinds of guys, not like tons, but all different types of people that I had a connection with. I
Okay.
can't take care of men if they can't take care of themselves. You see how it's going, and how they progress, or when they talk about something that they're going to do, are they actually going to do it, or I mean, this is such a vast subject.
Right. No, I get you. I understand your point. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't.
not about somebody having like a lot of money. It's about functionality, reality, interests, communication.
So that's
So,
saying behind every great man is a woman is garbage.
so
Are
you have, and you had the point you just said on the show that you're done. So you have basically dated both. Then you've dated men with money and men without money, and you
Yes,
come to the same conclusion, right?
yes. It depends. I'm done. I'm done trying so hard.
Right.
I'm done with, like politics has come into a lot of this over the last several years now.
Wow, that's a whole nother story. I
Oh
never thought
dear
about that.
God. Yeah, because you have to kind of have similar. I was with somebody who was a Southern Republican
Oh.
man who was like a father figure, and it was all wrong. And he was,
Right.
he was a narcissist, but he was charming and successful, but he was
Was he a
insane.
Trumpster? Was he a Trumpster?
Yes, but I didn't know that because Trump wasn't around when I met him. And you don't find out these things until it all starts coming out, and then you see, oh dear God,
So
he is.
basically, you love. Okay, so for women when they're in a relationship, is I love you 50%, and for you, and the other 50% is financial. So if the financial starts to drop below the love, you know what I mean. If there's more love than financial, then the guy.
I don't think you're making it financial. You have to remember now, as we age, we evolve. And as I've evolved, my life has changed and my choices have changed because I've been kind of single for
Unconditional. Okay, hold on a second, Gina. Go ahead, information man.
Let me get in on this, man. Let's talk some real talk here.
Information man, what's up, brother?
What's going on, y'all?
You
Y'all
I'm
have
ready
on
for you,
here
information
many
man. Let's
black
go.
women don't want a good man. This is what goes on. Let's just be honest. This is what's going on. Men are direct in how we deal and talk to women. Women operate off of indirect. So, Carl, when you were saying earlier, we are not brain readers. So when women go into a mode where they're expecting you to read their minds, we can't, because that's not how men operate. We operate on logic, direct conversation. We cannot read your minds. So this is why you have a disconnect between women and men, because we both operate off from different things. Okay? Now, the lady is right. As you get older, what you want when you were young were different than what you want when you're older. Me, as a 54-year-old man, when I deal with women or I'm dating someone, sex and all that sort of stuff is not at the top of my list. I'm looking more at where her mind is, her brain, how we match in terms of our personalities, what we have in common, what we don't have in common, what things are we equally yoked in, those sort of things. And then all those other things that you like, it all falls into place, right? But when we look at young people, because the dating scene with the young generation, the Z generation, I've been looking at the numbers. You've got young men who are not having sexual contact. They've decided to drop out of the dating scene. They're playing video games. They're putting their energy elsewhere. This is the younger generation because they don't see the value anymore. They're also watching their uncles and fathers who have gotten married. And then when they go through a divorce, they've seen their uncles and fathers who have lost half of all their stuff that they worked hard to build up, right? So the younger generation, when you talk to the Z generation of young men on these panels on YouTube, a lot of them are saying, I don't want no marriage. I'm not doing that. I'm building my empire. If a woman comes in my life, that's great. But they're operating off of defense because, as you know, the family courts are no friend to men. And I got to be honest here. If you go and look at the numbers, 80% of relationships, whether it be marriages or straight, just regular relationships, they're 9 out of 10 times are being ended by women. Women are deciding when they don't feel a certain way about you that it's time to move you along, whether you're cheating or not cheating, whether they just wake up one day and say, I'm not feeling this anymore because I need to find myself. And so men in general, when we're in relationships that we're not happy in, we tend to stick in it a little bit longer than ladies do in general. Okay, so
is this statistically now?
This is a fact. Now? 80% of most marriages and relationships are ended by females, not males. And it can be a variety because most people are going to say, oh, it's because the men are cheating. Sometimes it can be because you just don't mitch with that person, right?
Yeah,
so, for example, I'll give you a perfect example.
To know them.
I was married for 15 years. I met my wife in college, not in a club, not any kind of nonsense like that, educational sense. There were some things that we matched with very well when we met in college. But what the problem was, as we moved forward in the marriage, we weren't compatible in being able to overcome some of the difficulties in marriage around the communication. So when I got a divorce, we both equally said that things weren't working out, but the most important thing was to be dual parents for our daughter. We didn't have a nasty breakup. We just simply realized that that there were some things that we weren't compatible in, some things that I needed more from her than she was willing to give me or didn't give me. And when we eventually got divorced, we had a come to Jesus moment where we both admitted our faults. But we were able to move on and not carry on drama.
Right.
Sometimes, and I got married when I was young. You know, we were in our early 20s, but that's not always the excuse. But we live in a society where you have to take an exam and a license to drive a car. We got to take exams and licenses for all sort of shit, but yet there is no exam. There is no licensing to get married. So we're just simply getting married. And we're hoping that we can figure all this shit out, right? But a lot of times we don't have a lot of proper preparation for it because part of a successful marriage, as I get ready to land my plane, is that, and it was a problem that I had in my own marriage, is that we have to learn to stop the selfishness. Men become selfish, women become selfish, and then as a result, because marriage is not about being selfish. You have to give up yourself and you got to sacrifice the things that you want to do. And the problem is, and this goes on both sides. I know you've heard this a lot and I got to say it. Sometimes ladies have unrealistic expectations for what they want from a man. Men are very simple. If you are feminine, if you appeal to us, you make us feel a certain way. If you can do certain traditional things that we like, then we're going to be into you. A lot of women, especially in the Black community, Tiffany, you know what I'm about to say here, will tout your education. Oh, I got a master's degree. Oh, I got this. Right. I like a woman that's intelligent. I like a woman that's educated. But guess what? That's not a man's biggest criteria. I don't give a damn if you worked at McDonald's. If you're feminine and you treat me good, and and we connect and we work together as one, you could be working at McDonald's or what have you. Because if you look at some of the most richest men in the world, men who have had money, men who have had fame, if you look at some of the women that they've married, they weren't always rocket scientists or always We're simple now, and I'm gonna land my plane. Women, you all are very interesting. You look at a man for all sorts of things. Looks. Is he rich? Is he poor? Does he have charisma? Is he a leader? Does he have a strong voice? Is he good in the bedroom? Is he romantic? Does he make you feel good? I mean, he's got to be like Humphrey Bogart in a damn movie. Is he athletic? Is he muscular? Is he, we got to be all these goddamn things like we a Fezzian actor or something. And that's why I say this to you, the ladies on the panel. Women will sometimes say that they are the prize. But if men have to meet all these categories that some women put us in, then damn it, we've got to be the prize because we got to fill more boxes in your category. I'll stop right there.
Hey, information man, you want to drop this mic? You want to drop this?
Information man, I get it. I get it. You know, some women have their eye for this, some women don't. I don't want a man, some women and me included, I don't want a man for what you can give me. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Or what the money. That's not the first thing that comes to my head. Now I understand when our parents, you know, used to tell us and the elders used to tell us, go out on a date. Get to know a person, sit down, eat, know who they people are, who they kinfolks or how they get along with their mother, their father. We don't take the time to get to know a person. And that's an issue.
You're right, Tiffany. And you know what? These days, people travel so much. They're not always like living where you live and you know everybody. They move around. I mean, look at Carl, for instance. He came from, Jamaica.
Barbados. No, listen,
Barbados. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Did I say that? Whip me.
Right,
okay.
Carl.
Barbados. I apologize. But do you see what I'm saying? People move across country. They come from New York, they go to California. They come from California, they go to Kansas. There's no history there. And there's just a lot of that going on. And it's really hard to know those things, Tiff,
I'm going to say something here again, and then I'm going to go to Nicole Coates. My problem with Ilana Van Zandt is her saying that she said nothing to the guy for 14 years, and she was waiting. She's waiting to see if he's going to love her the way she wants to be loved.
How do you know she didn't say anything?
She said it.
Right.
She said it.
She didn't say it like that. You took it like that.
But see, Carl, that goes back to what I said. We have to understand as men.
Let me play this.
The different way that men and women express themselves and how we have the disconnect.
Yeah, let's all listen to what I heard. She was with a guy for 14 years, and she was waiting to see if he's going to love her the way she wants to be loved. He didn't, so she bounced. So he's probably like, what the hell? But here we go. Then we're going to go to Nicole when we come back.
I just ended a relationship, a 14-year relationship. You know why? After 14 years, I recognize he don't love me the way I want to be loved. I just don't want to be loved like this. See, I don't get to tell people how to love me. I get to see how they love and then choose if I want to participate. So for 14 years, I was hoping, okay, he's going to get it. 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 And then I said, you know what? He ain't getting it. And it's okay. I don't choose to participate in the way he loves. I got a bunch of degrees, and it took me 14 years to get that. Thank God I couldn't get pregnant. So, you get to make that choice and look at carefully and consciously and honestly, ruthlessly what you did and how you did it so that you don't do that ever again.
Was I wrong? She said it. She said it.
I don't think she meant it the way that you're thinking, because then that would mean after 14 years, you're thinking that they didn't communicate for 14 years.
She said, I don't get to tell people how to love. She said, I don't get to tell.
I don't think it's the way you're thinking.
You
Okay.
can't tell nobody how to love you. You gotta go the way the flow is. And it started getting to a point where she
But you have
figured that it didn't get nowhere. I keep
But
stressing to you, Carl, you're a man. You would never know how a woman feel or what she want from her man. I went through it for 16 years, wanting a man to love me, and I gave hints. I did this. I stayed
But
around.
this
I didn't question nothing, and it
Tiffany.
didn't happen. I had to move on. What's wrong
Tiffany,
with that?
this is the communication that folks need to understand. Men are direct communicators. So instead of like saying, this is our problems, instead of doing this beating around the bush, let me give him little signals and see if he gonna figure it out in 14 or 20 years, right? You can beat past all of that by just saying, this is what I need. This is how men communicate. This is what I need. And if the man is not willing to live up to what you need when you directly talk to him in that manner,
absolutely,
then you don't have to waste your time. But if you go through all this indirect communication, that's not how our brains are wired. I understand that that's how women are. You're looking to see if the man, I understand that. Women are looking to see if a man's going to rise to where she wants him to rise
or
when you give
change.
these little hints. Totally get that. But that's the reason why we have these problems between men and women. We communicate differently and we analyze things differently. And we need to understand that we're not the same.
Right.
Can
I
I,
believe that.
Let Nicole jump in. Go ahead, Nicole.
can I say something before my dog start barking and my children start walking in the background?
Go ahead.
And I have something on the stove. But I can only speak for myself. I cannot speak for other women. I can only speak for myself. And me personally, I don't need a man to pay my bills. I don't even need a man to fix anything around the house. Don't get me wrong, I do need men. I can call a mechanic to fix my car. I can call someone to put my TV on the wall. That might be a man or it could be a woman. What I do need from my man, I don't need him to pay my bills, pay my rent, take me to fancy places. What I do need is when he do come around and we are around, I need your full attention. We are all adults here. I need you to put it on me when I need you to put it on me. I need you to be affectionate to me when I need you to be affectionate to me. I need you to be loving to me. I need you to sit down and listen. I need you to have your whole undivided attention. And that's priceless. We can take walks in parks. We can take picnics. We can it's a lot of things that we can do that have no money have anything to do with it because I'm going to pay my own bills. I'm going to make sure my children are taken care of. I'm going to do everything I have to do, whether you're here or not. I'm going to take care of it. It's going to get done. But what I cannot do is caress myself. What I cannot do is give myself a certain, don't get me wrong, I can. And there's different instruments that can allow me to do that.
You know what you're talking about.
It's not the same as an organic man touching you. You can use instruments to pleasure yourself, but it's the same as a man.
What I'm trying to say is it's personal attention, love. Let me know that I'm appreciated by your touch, by just being around me and being attentive to my needs, taking everything to the side, knowing how to balance your job, balance your children, balance your friends, balance all of that, and make sure that I am the number one. That when I'm number one, because you give me a little, I'm gonna give you a lot. I'm gonna cook your food. I'm gonna clean your house. I'm gonna take care of your children. I'm gonna make sure your clothes is tucking out for you before you come out to shower. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go above and beyond. It's not 100%. It's not 50% for me. It's 120 and 30 and a 1,000,000% for me. So all I need is for you to show your appreciation and say, you know what, this woman is. I don't have to worry about a bill. I don't got to worry about if my clothes is washed.
But you got to come into a relationship like that,
Nikki. Least I can do is make sure her feet is rubbed. You know what I'm saying? I smack on that ass while she cooking.
We see what you need in your life right now, Nikki. Relax.
Now, tell the truth on that one.
Nicole, I love all what you've said, but I've had men tell me, I didn't ask you to do that.
Yes.
I didn't ask you to do my
Well.
clothes. I didn't ask you to cook my meals. I didn't
Well.
go get. I went through that in a couple of relationships, and I'm like, damn, all those things that I wanted to do didn't even get recognized because he's like, I didn't ask you to do that.
Right,
So,
but
so there's got to be some commonality and respect and communication about intimacy too. But all those, there's so much involved in this conversation. It's hard to.
But I want to say,
let me say something real quick that I noticed about women, and I've noticed this over the years. I've noticed this from watching those shows, like all those TV court shows, Judge Judy, all that stuff. When women do stuff for men, they seem to make a note of it. I wash your underwear. I you know what I mean? Up your back. They have a list of every single thing. Men do stuff for women all day and night. We don't even think about it, right? I was married for 30 years. My wife never had to worry about changing the oil in the car, brakes, nothing. All she knew was she got in the car, she started it, and it went. Not one time she ever asked, "How is this possible?" That I can have a car.
Did you get in her car and it started it?
But I don't care. I mean, pardon me?
Did you get in her car and it was able to start?
Yeah, I checked her car.
I'm talking about, did you was able to get in her car and was able to start? And was you doing the things that you were supposed to do to make sure her car and her oil change was fixed?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying exactly what you're saying. I did all of that, but I did not make a mental note of it. I couldn't go back and say I did this, I did that. But all you women can name everything you did for the guy.
Not all people. Not everybody makes tallies.
Oh, you do. You're making tally. I see it all the time. I watch. You watch. Go watch.
What do you do? So what do we do? That's the world. We about to go through election right now, and it's about to be tallies.
Oh,
that's
dear
life.
God, that's like a scary subject.
That's life. That's life. Because you give some, you get some. If you're not giving nothing, then you're draining. And if you're not giving, it's about giving something. And it don't have to be about equal. Like I said, most women give 100. Most women, I can only speak for myself.
But this is where we differ. You keep a tally of what you're doing. Men don't. We just do stuff and keep it moving.
But men still keep tallies. And a lot of men do keep tallies. Look, men keep tallies. That's not true. Men will tell you, I cooks, I come in here and I pay these bills. I can sleep around whatever I want. I pay these bills. I don't have to talk to you. Shut up, take care of these kids, and I don't got to give you no attention. Men keep tallies too, but they tallies don't equal up.
No,
not all people. This is all. It's a 50-50.
This is just my only experience. I've only been here 45 years. My birthday, April 17th, y'all. I've only been here 45 years.
I think this is where these conversations go wrong. It goes back to the blame game again. Every time this is why we have problems with communication. Every time a man expresses how he truly feels about relationships and the things that bothers him in relationships, and then women explain how they feel, they want us to understand their feelings, their thoughts. But when we have points to be made, now the goalpost is moved, and now it becomes this, me, you. Why don't we just admit that we both F up sometimes? Men are effing up, women are effing up, and everybody's not this perfect little person that they want to act like they are. Men in this society are told from day one that we're born into the world that we're supposed to protect women. We're supposed to be providers. We are conditioned as men from get-go, and there is no safety net for men in this society when we fuck up. See, if a woman messes up, you got safety nets in society that protects you, whether you have an unwanted pregnancy, whether you want to be out of a marriage, no-fault marriage where you want out of it, and then the man has to take on certain responsibilities, right? Because you want out of it. Society has set up things because women are seen as protective group in our society. There's none of that for men. We are always, and I'm sorry, this is just the truth, we are always held accountable for shit that we do, whether it be emotionally or financially. At the end of the day, we're always held accountable. And so therefore, Why can't we admit that there are issues on both sides?
Yeah, I can
And
admit that.
until we can get to that, we're gonna always have these conversations where it's you blaming everybody. Look, everyone has something that they've done wrong.
Can I jump in here? Tell me if all of you have found this out because none of us are 20. I didn't realize when I left home and I moved away that not everybody's raised the same.
Yes.
Not everybody has the same values.
Yes.
Not everybody thinks the same or wants the same thing. And when you're young, you're not asking those questions when you start a relationship. So I seem I know Kevin always calls me on shit, but I seem, wounded or angry no, I'm none of those things. I'm actually never been happier because I won't be with somebody who doesn't jive with me anymore. I'm not going to look at someone for their potential. It's not even about settling. It's about not knowing who the heck you are and what you want and what you can give. I've given so much. I've given up, energy and businesses and houses and whatever. Well, I'm not doing that ever again because I have to keep starting over for men, whether they have something or not. Nicole said something. Oh shit, lost my train of thought. But there's just so much about values that we don't realize when we're young. And then also how we were raised. If we were like an abusive family, my family were narcissistic. So I was always attracted to that type of person. That's not going to go anywhere either because you get eat up and spit out. And when I say I'm tired of it, I'm done. I don't mean with the human race or the men. I just mean with that kind of behavior.
That's right. And you have the right, you have the choice to do that. And I think that's with anybody. If you feel like you are in an unhealthy or toxic relationship, you can move on. But the question is, what I see today with a lot of our men and some of our women, they choose toxic relationships before they choose healthy relationships.
But I don't think most people know what that is. I didn't know what that was until I actually moved back to New York and was close to my family. And they all started getting health issues. And I saw the dynamics of my family. I went, holy shit. Oh, dear God, I have been picking people like my family, unhealthy relationships. So I had to back away and kind of stop. I just had to back away and look at the whole thing. It all happened like within the last 2 years. So a lot of times people don't come around to that. You don't get to see that. You don't realize that. You just go after the same type of relationship. I did that up until about 2 years ago. It will never happen again. And in order to say that, you have to really do the work. And I've been doing the work since 1997 when I got cancer.
So
I've been doing the work.
Highly favored from YouTube is asking, what exactly do men do?
Can I just say something before I get off because somebody else has to get off? There's nothing wrong with both parties setting boundaries. There's nothing wrong with being creative. Like every day is a new day. So every day you need to think of something new. And so when you be with someone, I was with someone for 9 years. And trust me, us as women, we learn how to deal with the narcissism. We learn how to walk on eggshells. We know how to, this is how
not healthy.
Yeah, that's not good.
We learn how this is how the kitchen should be done. This is what I should say when this person gets up. This is the things we love you so much that we'll find a way to make your life as comfortable as possible.
But are they making your life as comfortable as possible?
Understand that, sister. This is the therapy show, but not me and your therapy show, okay?
Good for you, Nicole. That's funny.
As I was saying, as women, we have learned, and this goes generational. The men, they seen the master degrade us as women. We seen the men degrade our men. When the men couldn't take care of us, the men left. it goes deep. It goes genetically. Right now, I don't know if we have the time to get that deep. And we grown enough. We understand what we're talking about, but we now has to change that. We now as a people have to say, we got to stop thinking so selfishly, because we have to think on the other side. And I don't want to say that we're downing men. Like I said, we compromise. We compromise with you having women on the other side. We compromise with you having children on the other side. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we compromise to the point that we shouldn't, to the point that we probably never haven't. And so now that we are at this point where we're saying we're tired of sacrificing ourselves. We're tired of taking it for the team. We're tired of it. The protection that we're asking you for is not physical protection. Because just guess what? I can knuckle up. We're asking you for emotional protection. We're asking you for thinking about my feelings, putting my feelings in consideration type protection. You understand? We're shelter. We created y'all in our wombs. We fed y'all in our wombs. We don't need shelter and protection from you on that level, but we do need protection when it comes down to our emotional feelings. And we do need protection because we are holding, and y'all holding the world on your shoulder as well. But we holding the weight of the world on our shoulder. We are the generation is going to come from us. If we're angry, if we're not being loved, if we're not being respected or appreciated, that's going to go towards the children that you leave to take care of somebody else's children. You understand? Like,
yeah.
I love y'all.
All right, love you too, Nicole. Thank you.
I want to answer this question that was asked about what men do, and I heard Nicole talk about sacrifice. Now, we all know that when there's a war in this society, men go to war and die, and have for centuries. We know that men provide infrastructure in the society that women live in. We provide protection and infrastructure. Okay. And imagine if men were to disappear off the earth tomorrow, no man on the earth, how would women survive? Because most of the infrastructure that is built in this society, men are the ones managing it. And I don't say that in a sexist way, but it's just a fact. So when you say, what do men do in a relationship? We're supposed to provide you protection, emotional, as the sister said, physical protection. We're supposed to provide leadership, wisdom, right? Logic, right? Comfort, right? Emotional comfort to you. We're supposed to provide for the family, go out and build a legacy with the woman that we choose, that we have an equally yoke with. So when you say that question about what do we provide, there's a lot of things that men provide that is outside of the realm of sex. That we're supposed to provide you, that goes beyond the physical sex, but the metaphysical and the physical that we have to go out into the world. Because remember, back in the day, men have to go out and slay the lion, slay the dragon. Back in the day, before we had grocery stores, men had to go out and hunt and get the fish and slay the animal to bring it back to the tribe to eat. That's what our function is. So I could ask an even better question. Since those are the things that men traditionally have done and should do, then what do women provide to men outside of sexual pleasure?
Right.
So because these are the arguments that you hear in the YouTube streets about, well, what do women provide to men outside of the sexual pleasure realm?
Right. You're right. Because that's my main thing. Can a woman help a man solve a problem? And the same
That's
vice
what I want.
versa.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the main thing.
And let me say something, because I got to say it from a cultural point of view, because I heard what she said about the men that was in her life who didn't want to be catered to in a certain way, right? You got to understand there's a cultural aspect to this. Within Black society, that's what Black men are asking for. We want our women to do things for us, to make us more comfortable. So you got to also recognize there's cultural aspects, right? Because think about it. In white society, white men have always been used to being what? In control of society. They've been used to their egos being stroked. Whereas in my culture here in America, Black men weren't even allowed to be men in this society. So where did we get most of our comfort at, gentlemen? We called our homes our castle to get our
Right.
comfort because we knew when we went out into society,
You had to deal with
we had
that
to deal with
bullshit, yeah.
discrimination, and we had the white men who would call us boy and wouldn't even call us a men.
Belittle
So we
y'all,
had to go to
yes,
our
that's
churches and we go home to feel as men to get
That's
comfort
right,
away
with
from
your
the
wives,
society.
with your children.
Right.
Mhm.
Which is why culturally, even to this day, because I hear black men all over the YouTube street saying this, we want our women to do things. We want our women to cook for us. We want a massage on the back. Because by nature, culturally, we're very physical people. And that's the
Right.
damn truth.
Tell the
Yeah.
truth.
I ran
Yeah.
my plane there.
Yeah.
Well,
Kev, you ain't say nothing. Say something, Kev.
Yeah, Kev.
I'm just learning. I'm learning and listening. Sometimes you listen and you learn.
All I know,
Do you disagree with anything, Cab? You have been very quiet.
highly favored said, what men bring to answer your question, information man. Highly favored, a woman who said, asked, what do men do? She said, and you replied, she said, we bring chaos and destruction.
What?
Not all men.
Not all men,
men.
though. And I like highly flavored, but not all men.
Not
Because she
all
follows
men.
my channel too.
Yeah.
Not all men. I do agree with you that most of the destruction and violence in our society is projected by men, unfortunately. But it's not all men.
It's
But
not
I
all
understand.
men.
I understand where she's coming from.
But also, you're supposed to recognize that when you go through so much in your life, your experience, you're supposed to be able to recognize a dirty person by the first sight. So when you get with these men, you can be able to figure out if they're going to be narcissists or they're going to be very aggressive or they're going to talk to you any kind of way. This is why I'm a true believer of getting to know someone. I wish that I would have listened to our parents or listened to our guardians that told us we need to learn people first. We need to communicate
I'm
with people.
glad you're saying that, Tiffany. I'm so glad because this is back to my point. We first started talking about women wanting men to spend a certain amount of money when they go on dates and stuff. This is how you get to know. I think a date should be like a walk in the park, or you know what I mean, grab some ice cream, go sit on.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Hey, so Tiff, did your parents you were raised with both your parents, obviously.
Yes.
And okay. And Carl, same with you?
Yes.
Okay. How about you, information man?
I was raised by both my mother and my father partially because he lived in the East Coast. So my mother and father
Okay.
got divorced.
Okay. And Gina,
but he still was
do you have
part of
both
my
your
life.
parents? Because I was listening to
Both
Tiff.
my parents, yes.
You know, see, you guys are very lucky because I would say most of society is raised with divorced parents.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm about to get emotional because it's for real.
So yeah, most people. I come from divorced parents, so I mean, most people parents are divorced. You know,
Yes.
a few stepdads sprinkled throughout, but mostly, you know, my mom and dad were divorced before I was 1 year old. So,
Right.
so yeah,
That mean people came from separate households that they parents wasn't in the household together, so they didn't see union.
right. So I mean, so what you were saying, Tiff, it doesn't apply to a lot of Americans because a lot of people are raised, you know, not with a mother and dad. Most people, if you have a mother and dad, you're very lucky. I mean, you know, to grow up with mother and dad. But most people, parents are divorced. You know, believe it or not.
Well, Tiffany did say that. Tiffany did say it's cultural and it has to do with how you grow up and where you grow up and whether there was abuse in the family or abuse in the all those things.
And it don't matter when you on a date. You talk to people, you get to know, you ask them these questions. Because if I hear a man say he don't like his mother or he have issues with his mother,
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
think about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to think that if he has mommy issues, it's a possibility he's going to have women issues. Or he might not like me a lot because he doesn't like his mother. The same thing with women. You understand what I'm saying? If you meet a man and he has that, or a man meets a woman and she has daddy issues, it's a possibility she's not going to treat you good because she doesn't know how to treat a man good because she's mad at a man. You understand? Or he wasn't available, or he divorced, or he separated, or he even died. A lot of people don't know because they wasn't taught. So the question is, do we have time to teach somebody that or could be potential partners about love?
First of all,
about connection.
Tiff, is like going to acting school. You know, when you're dating people, I mean, are you really getting the real person? I mean,
No,
you're on your best behavior when you're dating. When you first hook over a lady or you hook over a man, you're on your best behavior during that courtship and
to
that
meet their
hanging out and
representative.
dating and
That's
stuff like
true.
that. You might open the car door on a few first dates. Then when you get married, you don't open that car door no more. I mean,
Right.
it's an audition, right? Dating is an audition. You
Well,
know,
Yes, it
so
is, because
well,
you
you're
yeah,
auditioning for the goods, right? Most men
right.
audition for the goods. So so
Kev, I want to say something to you about that. Because I've told people this quite a bit. I think one of the mistakes that men make is that when we are courting a woman and dating her, that woman that we're definitely into, and then we get in a relationship, a full-blown relationship, this is where the relationship can go into a disaster because we stop dating each other. I think men
Good
need to
point.
continue dating women and treating them the way they treated them
When they first met.
when they first met, to keep the relationship spicy. When you look at when you look at relationships or marriages where couples have been together for a long time, and you ask them how did you make it work, and they said they did not stop doing the things that made them fall in love with the person in the first time.
Exactly.
So I think what happened in men, I'm a fair, balanced person here. I think men, we probably more than women have this problem where we get complacent. Once we get the cookies,
You relax.
and we start and the woman's into us, we start to be like, we got to stop that. That's what gets us in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Because now the woman now here comes when the woman is saying, okay, like she said on the video, I'm gonna see if he's gonna be the way he used to be, right? And we can't read your mind, but we should just simply love the woman the way we was trying to fall in love with her from the very beginning. I know it's hard because bills get in the way, life gets in the way, and we have to find time. Men, we got to stop not being romantic anymore. Women like that shit.
I think it's the opposite way around. Information, man. What you're
Okay,
saying
I'll
is
listen to
true,
your
but
point.
I remember. You're making good points. But I remember comedian Earthquake did a routine about what you were talking about, but he put it on the women. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said, women once they get married, they come to bed with the what do you call it, the face mask on and the rollers in the hair.
But that
And,
shouldn't matter if
and,
you are
and,
into
and
me.
Earthquake jokingly said, "Look at
He's
yourself
right.
in the mirror. Would you fuck you?"
No, you know what? Wait a minute. That sounds funny, but Tiffany, you know what, Kev? You're a genius. I think people should say that to themselves in the mirror. For real.
I agree.
Because you know why, Tiffany? And I'm gonna redact a little bit of what I said. He's right. I think if you met a man that you were into and that man was turned on by seeing you in lingerie or however you dressed that attracted him, don't stop it.
Right, keep it going.
Yeah,
Just
but
say
like
it goes on both sides. I'm
information
sorry.
man. By
Yes.
the way, what is your name? Will you share that with us, or is it
No,
a
I'm not
secret?
going to share my name.
Let's go with it.
Okay, well,
everybody knows.
I had to ask.
Nah.
I had to ask. But you made a good point. It's not just men that should continue to behave the same way they did when they were dating the woman. I don't know who these women are that have headaches. I never had a headache. I've never said no when I was in a relationship. It was almost the opposite, with the man not wanting to be intimate or too tired or whatever. But then also I continued to be the same type of person I was when I met the person.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't that what they liked about me? And then they change. See, because I'm like the consistent person. I want somebody to be consistent. I have never seen that in the relationships I've been in. So
Can I give you a harsh reality? It's like you go to a car dealership and you buy a fancy car. And I sometimes I'm out on the road and I see a guy pass me up and he passed me up in a nice car. And I say, damn, if I had that car, it wouldn't be that dirty. I would wash it every day.
That's true.
People get bored.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest.
Yep.
I mean, it's fucked up to say, but it's true. Like, it's like that brand new car once you drive it, you know, I remember black men were going crazy because singer Eric Benet cheated on Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
everybody's like, man, how can you cheat on Halle Berry? Easily, because he already had it, right? He's like,
No,
she's not.
that's
I'm being honest
sad.
though.
I hate
You are being
that.
honest. He is
She's
being
not
honest.
Halle
Oh,
Berry to him anymore. The
oh,
way
good grief.
I know it sounds
No, but
harsh. I'm
he's
just
being
giving you.
honest. But thank
This
you
I'm
is
for
what
being
it.
being
honest though.
honest.
Yeah,
We're
But
being
it's
honest on this show.
but
Like
Kev.
listen. But don't
I'm not
you
saying
don't
I'm
get.
not saying I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's right. It's just a harsh reality.
But that just lets you know that somebody's not into you. If they were into you, they
Enough.
would not cheat on you. If
Enough.
they
Not
were into you,
Right.
they would not want to be
respect.
not intimate with you.
Right.
That means they're not into you, and that means you need to move on.
I
Right.
That's
agree.
it.
But keep this in mind, and this is not an excuse, but it's in the man's DNA. It doesn't mean that we should be doing this sort of stuff. But if you look at things primal men in general, we enjoy conquering. And when there's a woman that we want to attain, such as Eric Benet with a Halle Berry, and you are able to sort of conquer that woman, you've had intimacy with her, you've made her holler out your name or whatever. No, I'm just keeping it real. We're all adults here.
No, well, yeah.
Unfortunately, our conquering instinct kicks into mode. And when you have a conquering nature to you, you actually want to conquer more in the pasture. It doesn't make it right. If you're a man, you should be honest and you should be forthright and honest with your woman. But unfortunately, there's some men who allow their conquering mechanisms to kick on and they begin to think with their small head, not their big head, and they begin to act like a whore. I'm just keeping it real.
Let me jump in
But
here.
let's not act like women don't have affairs. Women cheat just as much as men.
Yeah, y'all do
Come on,
be
come on. Let's
cheating.
keep it. We're being real on this
they do
show.
cheat.
Women cheat just as much as men.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do.
Yeah.
I know this firsthand. I've been cheated on many times, and it's
And I
not
have cheated on. I understand.
so exactly. So women cheat on men also. It ain't just men. It happens a lot in on both sexes. So it's just a
Let
It
me
is.
jump in on the Halle Berry comment that Kevin made about Eric Benet cheated on Halle Berry and all the men. How can you cheat on Halle Berry? She's so hot. She's so beautiful. Beautiful in public doesn't translate to wonderful personality behind closed doors.
That could happen too. That could happen too.
I personally know of there's a TV personality she's on TV right now, very beautiful, and I know her husband. We are friends. They're divorced now, sorry, but he said like sexually she just wasn't into it, in you know what I mean, in bed, like she just didn't do it for and she wasn't a nice person, and she yelled, cussed her. But on TV, the beauty and the personality she has on TV, you would love her. All the men want her, but nobody knew what she was like behind closed doors.
Yeah, because everything that glitter is not gold.
Same thing with Halle Berry. Halle Berry could be very hot, but once you get behind closed doors, who knows what the hell she's like? So I don't have a problem with anybody cheating on Halle Berry.
No, what you mean?
I think, hey Carl, I think Eric Benet is just a whore.
No,
Yeah.
first we
But
know
Carl-
that. But
There
if you're
was
in a committed relationship, you don't supposed to cheat. That's
Yeah,
period.
that's true.
And if you feel like you want to cheat, you ask your wife permission first. Because I'm a true believer. Do not cheat behind your wife's back. If you want to do it, if y'all that close, keep it real. But we see people can't do that.
That's not gonna happen. Huh? You know that's not gonna go over well.
Listen, I know many open
If you're
relationships.
homeless and you live in the box on the street, you can go home. You can tell your wife. You can ask for permission. But if you got a house and a car and you got a couple million in the bank, you're not gonna go home and ask your wife for permission.
Listen, you shouldn't be cheating if you can't take care of both,
know
or
that.
you take care of the women you cheat with. I'm sorry. Don't cheat. You shouldn't cheat. Look
Well,
the other way.
Everybody knows that. I mean, everybody knows that.
If
You know?
you're in a committed relationship, you don't supposed to cheat. And I'm not with cheating without permission.
Well, Carl, let me say something.
What is that?
It's It's
You
to
don't
the
cheat without permission. That's it. That's period. You don't be cheating. That's wrong.
Who asks
It's-
permission to cheat?
That's what
to
I'm.
the
I don't know.
to the
It's not
well.
cheating. It's
There's
not cheating
there
if you get permission.
Right. I'm
There's
just, you know what I'm
there's
saying,
people in
but yeah.
open relationships who have an
Right.
understanding that if you
Yes.
step out on the relationship, it's under certain conditions. But
Right.
Carl, I want to say something. I know it's going to be controversial what I'm about to say here.
Oh, Lord.
There was a rumor in Hollywood as it relates to Halle Berry amongst the females in Hollywood that Halle Berry's box wasn't that great, that she wasn't that good in the bed. Now, I'm not saying it to say that's why. I'm just saying that was a rumor. I know y'all heard about that. There were ladies that were talking about it.
Princess.
Right. So, you know, sometimes, like you said, somebody could be a movie star. They can look good, but maybe behind closed doors,
She's so beautiful.
they may not be that, you know,
Well, it's a known
that
fact
great
among men
in the
that
bed.
women don't try as hard, right? I mean, beautiful.
Well, that's a
they
good point.
They don't feel they have to try as hard in bed because so many men want them. They just feel I just got to lay here and be pretty.
Because psychologically they know that they're desired. Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
Now the ugly
That's
chick,
interesting.
right? The ugly chick, she's
psychology
hanging
to
onto
it.
the backboard. She's got
She's got to work harder.
Listen,
Okay,
I
good
get
point,
it.
good point.
And the same thing from women too. I done been with a man and they were gorgeous, and when they got behind the closed door, they couldn't either last long or they can't
Oh my God. Okay, Tiffany. Ooh.
You know, you like, what's going on here? You look good. You supposed to know what you're
Oh
doing.
my God.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna stay quiet over here.
So so then Tiffany, because you know this has always been the thing about, hey, you shouldn't have sex before marriage and all these other things, right? Wouldn't that warrant one to say, you know what? I need to have a test of I gotta test the cookies.
That's in between
to find out whether everything gonna be fine in that department, so before we can go further, right?
Well, these days, that's a good indication. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's in between the dating. You'll start
Right,
thinking once you get cool and close and you ask questions and you talk and stuff, you can be able to figure out, you know, you might brush up on me. I might brush up on you. That's in between the dating. That's why the dating should
Brush
be
up
fun.
on me.
Yeah,
Brush
we
up
go
on
to a
me.
club.
I want to read a comment from Charles Irby from YouTube. He said something that I kind of understand what he's saying, but I never agree with this kind of statement. So Charles, if you're still listening, if I'm misreading what you're saying, please correct me. But he said, if you fail at life picking a productive, suitable man, that's your failure. He says, both my sisters have been married for 15 years. They allowed me to vet these men. Then he goes on to say, if the men in your family aren't vetting these men, stop complaining about men women choose. A man can be great for 10 years and then all of a sudden he goes off the rails. So you can vet all you want. So I don't think it's right to blame women if a man goes sideways, saying the men need to be vetted because
He's talking about family, like your family members meeting the man.
Yeah.
Right.
What's wrong with that? Wouldn't you want to meet your sister's potential
But
partner?
he's saying that if it fails, you pick the bad man. But how can you can vet a man all you want. You can't tell. People can be good for 20 years and then at the 21st year, you just go crazy.
I think traditionally men, and in some ways, Carl, I think we should get back to this as fathers. I have a daughter. I think men should be vetting the men that their daughters bring into their life. That's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
But if a man was worth his salt and gold, he would definitely want to meet the father to get the father's blessing.
I agree.
I think men are very good. I'm just keeping it real. People may not like what I'm going to say here.
No, it's true.
I think men have a better understanding of the games that men play than women because we are men, and some of us might have played these games when we were young ourselves, so we know what time it is. Mm-hmm. So I think that daughters should be taught and groomed to understand the games that men play and make themselves, how can I want to say this in a respectful way.
Oh, keep it real, man.
I think that men should be, I don't like that word grooming because it has so many connotations. Let me stay away from that word. I think fathers should be preparing their daughters to be wives and not girlfriends, to be women of virtue, women of standards, right? And we shouldn't allow men to take the hands of our daughters who do not live up to that themselves, right? Because I think, men, like I said, men, we can figure out the bullshit. I'm gonna look at a guy and I'm gonna say, what's your intentions? Because if your intentions is to be a playboy with my daughter, then I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a friend and I got a little friend over here. It's called a Swift and Weston. It's called a Swift and Weston. It's called a 45 caliber. No, I'm serious. No, I've had people do
so
this
let me
to
ask you a question, if I may. Let me ask you a question, because that brings up, that makes me think, right? And I'm a father to a daughter and a beautiful granddaughter. But let me figure this out now. So we all worry about our daughters,
meeting guys like us.
meeting guys. Is it meeting guys like us, or just meeting guys? Because
meeting predators.
I'm gonna be real.
Predators.
I was, I wouldn't say I was a player, but I had a lot of girls in my life, right? I've been around a few blocks, right?
Right.
So
you know the game.
I know the game, but I can't protect. It's like watching porn, right? If you watch porn and you enjoy the porn, all those women you watching have dads.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So they have dads, right? So we can't be hypocrites. We can't watch porn and then be mad.
Well, that's a good point.
Because all those girls that we
but
porn doing these dirty, nasty things that we're enjoying all have fathers and mothers, right?
Yeah,
so,
but see, Kev,
but
I can't
so
work.
how do you protect your daughter from life experience? Is what I'm saying.
What I'm simply saying is, it's my responsibility as a man to be a leader and to be an influence of wisdom to my daughter. So my job, my daughter is gonna learn and make mistakes. All people do, right?
Right.
But I would be derelict in my responsibility as a father not to impart wisdom on her as to these are what you might encounter in some men. And so these are the signs to look for, so that I can at least arm her with some understanding, and then hope that she may meet a guy that's good. Maybe she'll meet a guy that's bad. These things happen, but I'm gonna at least want to part that on her. And I think that women should still, if they have fathers, they should bring those boyfriends to meet the father so that he can kind of check them out.
And vice versa,
I
too.
personally believe, Kev, that some of the reasons why we have the problems that we have in today's society, because we've gotten away from some traditional patterns that are coming back to hunt us today, because we've gotten away and everybody wants to be this individual. I'm free. I can do whatever I want. And that do whatever you want shit is not working, which is why we got kids today that are saying they don't want to get married.
Hey, my daughter was terrified. My daughter was terrified. My daughter was terrified to bring her boyfriends home to meet me.
Excellent.
Terrified.
I think that's excellent.
Actually, terrified to death to bring any boy she was dating in school around me. That is the honest God truth. She was like, "No, Dad, no," because she knew me. She knew I was going to do exactly what we're talking. I was going to vet him. I was going to check him out. I was going to look him in his eyes. Remember the scene Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence when he opens the door. That's one of the best scenes, man. When Martin opens that door, because the guy's there to take his daughter out.
And that's the same thing for women too. When I have my nephew, and I let my nephew know quick fast, you be with a woman that loves her dad and she's going to be nice to you. Do not let no woman a young girl hit you, abuse you, because that's another thing. They be hitting and abusing each other, and that's an issue, and think that's love. That's not love. And we have to start with our children and being a proper example, or even if they parent, mother or father wasn't there, or they wasn't, we have to communicate with them. People don't understand. We need to have more communication skills amongst each other, just period.
Well, doesn't that go back to the beginning when we first started, before I jumped on, when we were talking about whether somebody has money or no money or skills or no or job or homeless or whatever.
Right.
Don't we go back to who our fathers would approve of or our parents would approve of?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the reality. You know, so there's some balance there. I mean, that's kind of old fashioned of me to say, but then isn't that what we're talking about? Even the information man is saying that, you know, he wants to vet the person, or the family should vet the person that your daughter's dating. I mean, so therein lies the truth.
Well, I don't have daughters. I have 2 sons, but I have, female friends that I talk to, and I remembered one female friend in particular. She was dating this guy, and she over a year she never been to his house. He claimed his house is always messy because he has a messy roommate. He claimed every. Then she did go to his house one time, but you know what I mean. It was she couldn't go at a certain time because she said his room. I said that man is either married or lives with a woman. But she's like, she's like, no, I don't believe it. But of course, long story short, he did live with a woman. His wife worked the second shift.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he couldn't bring her. But when he did decide to bring her, he brought her in the evening because his wife was working 3 to 11. So, between 3 and 11, he could bring her there. And
that's too much.
But I'm saying, educate your daughters as to the tricks men,
yes.
If it doesn't seem right, then question it. Don't believe in.
Right.
I always say this, and this is not going to look good for men. Women cannot believe the lies that men would tell them. The lies that men tell.
Yeah, people will do anything to have a relationship or keep a relationship.
Women cannot believe. I had a friend that faked a heart attack. He had a heart condition.
Oh my God.
To try to get a girl to have, and she did.
Oh, for God's sakes.
What
the heck was that for?
He faked. This was back in the 80s, 90s, maybe, but he pretended like he was having some heart condition. He didn't have long to live, and he got her sympathy, and eventually,
oh my God.
You know what I mean? So that just shows men will go to no end. So I'm basically saying, if you have a daughter, tell them the truth about.
Yeah, communicate with them.
Tell them.
Yeah. I think I wanted to say something too. Tiffany and Flora, both of you grew up with your fathers in your household. Both of you.
Oh,
ladies?
yes.
Both you ladies?
I'm a daddy's girl. I was
okay.
Yeah.
What I find from
my parents.
Okay, what I find in my experience is that it seems like women who grew up in households where they had a good father image tend to be more stable in the way they look at relationships, or they tend to be a little bit better emotionally in their relationships. Even when the relationship doesn't go well, they tend to still have a better outlook about men, because the first man that you fall in love with and know is your father. The first woman that a man falls in love with is a boy, in a mothering, fathery way, of course, don't get me wrong, is your mother, because your parents become the first gods that you know when you're born, right? So they always say you can tell a man how a man may treat you by the way he treats and talks about his mother, right?
That's right.
And vice versa. But I just find that women who have had dysfunctional experiences with men, whether it be their fathers or uncles, sometimes they have issues when they get with a man. Check this out. When they're dealing with a man who's direct, masculine, focused, and they may see that man as, ooh, he's aggressive. He might abuse me the way my father abused me. Right. So it's almost like sometimes you may not understand the masculinity properly because you had a bad example of it in the household, right? Or bad relationships. But that's what I just noticed. Women who have had those functioning fathers tend to be a little bit more, there's something a little bit more stable about them when it comes to dealing with men. In general, I'm just generalizing because I know there's always exceptions to the rules. Because when I hear you talk, both of you sound like you had a father in your household.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but here's something I read years ago and it blew my mind. It was an Ann Landers article, and I don't really read Ann Landers. And she said, and I always thought that women emulated their dad and always wanted to find a man like their father. She said women look for men like their mothers. And I was like, it was like a light bulb went on because that was true for me. And I realized that the men that I've been attracted to were very much like my mother. And to this day, that scares me. So that
That's
was like
deep.
a revelation. So it blew my mind. To this day, it stands to reason. So now I got to change my choices.
Yeah, and that comes with experience. It comes with experience. A lot of people don't understand. You have to go through the craziness to be able to start to say, you know what, I'm gonna not gonna deal with this. I will deal with this.
Absolutely.
You understand? You have to balance it out. But yes, that's why I had a big thing with Carl with the title. Because, I had a dad, and I love my father. My father loved me. He loved my mother through the ups, and I saw them go through ups and downs, literally in front of my face. But I never saw my mother demasculate my father. I never saw her disrespect him in front of people. You understand? I saw a certain respect, and I have to respect that. So I have to say, I love men. I love black men, and that's the only thing that I will want in my life. And I know how to treat one. But you know what every man would say to me? I'm not ready for you yet. You too good to be true. You
All right, I'm
understand?
going to show a video of a brother who decided to check out the other cultures.
What you mean other cultures?
Well, hold on.
Is it Passport Bros? Is it Passport Bros?
That's
I had to tell
funny.
my mom. I said, Mom, this is why I went to Japan to get me a wife.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, don't ruin it. I said, that's why I ain't married no black woman. You know what I'm saying? I told my mom got so mad when I said that. Come on. Like, I asked my wife for a glass of water, and she was pregnant at the time, and she ran to the kitchen to get it and came back. And my mom's like, why you got this girl running to the kitchen? I said, I didn't ask her to run. I just asked her for a water, but that's how they do it. That's I don't know why they do it like that, but they hurry up and get you shit. When you ask her, I asked her really nice, hey, babe, can you get me a glass of water? And she just jogged to the kitchen.
Right.
I don't know why she did that.
Yeah.
And my mom was mad. And then from that second on, my mom was in her head. And by the time my mom left, my ex-wife was already acting like a black girl, doing all this. I was like,
Hey, that's Rampage, by the way. Rampage is a professional UFC mixed martial arts fighter champion.
His wife.
Now, in his defense, I know where he's coming from because Rampage, being a professional martial artist, he spent a lot of time over in the Far East. He spent a lot of time over in some of those Asian countries, competing in martial arts tournaments and stuff like that. So when you live in Japan and Okinawa and going to all these different places, Taiwan and the Philippines for fighting and stuff professionally, those women are, at your beck and call,
Submissive. They are very
and they love
submissive.
black men over there. Those women over there love black men. So
But those women were raised, sorry, Gina, most of those women were raised that way. They don't have a problem with it. And most of the time, most men choose them because they are like that. And they don't say too much. They
that's
just
what
do
he
what
said.
daddy say do. Go do this. Go do yesy,
It's their
yesy.
culture. Yes,
But
that's the way they're raised.
let me
And
say, oh,
and
Do you think
I've dated a couple of Asian women in my life. But the ones I dated, well, one of them were Americanized. Like my brother said, she was raised basically up in America, so she was like any other American woman.
Yeah, the attitude.
Yeah, she had attitude. But I dated a couple of Asian women that were still true to their tradition in a sense, and they were like the brother said, they were that type of women. It's just the way their tradition, that from the way they're raised that way to be that way towards their men. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's just who they are. But the brother likes that. The brother likes that. That's what he likes. What he likes.
What if a man of any race is taking care of you, giving you respect, listening to you, being there for you emotionally, right? Making good love to you, providing for you, protecting you, all the things that a good woman should get from a man, then I don't see what the big deal is if a man says, can you make me a plate,
wrong with it.
or can you get me a water? And if that woman has so much respect for you because she values you because of the things that you do for her, then there's no big deal with a woman.
Absolutely.
Like I think it's fantastic when when you go out, you go somewhere like a party, and your wife makes a plate for you, or your significant other makes a plate for you,
Yes.
and brings you a drink.
Yes.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I
Right.
think
See, I
some
love
women
that.
have a
I think
problem with that. Oh, okay.
No, no, not
There's,
No, I
absolutely
asked
not.
for
there's some
Patricia for
women that
water.
have some women
I asked
have a
Patricia for
problem
water
with that
an hour ago.
because they see it
It ain't
as
got it.
some ladies have a problem with that because they see it as you're trying to make me be a slave. Tiffany, you hear what I'm saying here? You're trying to make me be a slave, right?
I don't want
Some
you to be a
women will look
slave.
at
I
this
want
whole
you to be
thing.
my man, information man. You want to be
Right.
my man?
Yeah,
But
I
some-
agree with you, information man, and I don't think every woman feels like they're a slave because the relationship should go both ways.
Right.
Would you get me a glass? Of course I mean,
Right.
if
Be a
it's
problem.
abusive, I mean, if it's abusive. But the thing that I wanted to say was, don't think that white women think it's great when men go on the internet for women from Ukraine or the Philippines or Barbados
Right, because
or Mexico because we're too complicated.
right.
Oh
Well,
my God, really?
I like that you said that because because I got to keep it real. White men have been doing passport bros for decades. They go over to
they
Asia.
invented that
They
shit.
get with
Yes,
Asian
yes,
women.
sir.
Now I've never. It would be interesting to hear this, but I've never personally seen a panel of white women talk openly about how they don't really like their men going over to these other countries, right? Because I know black women will definitely get on a panel and
white women are not
talk
doing
about
that.
us
They
like a
white
dog.
husbands will whoop their ass.
No, we just stay away from them. We don't talk
Right.
about it, but we do talk about it amongst ourselves. It's like, really? I mean, but do you know what happens to my male friends who have done that?
Mhm.
Many times these women, the men, they're just I'm sorry, but sometimes they're not thinking. They marry these women, and these women take everything they have.
Yeah, I've heard the horror stories.
That's why they
It
do
does.
it.
It has happened.
Horrible.
There's
And
some horror stories out there.
I've warned recently a friend of mine who was looking at at this young Mexican girl, and I'm thinking to myself, I could go to Mexico and I could get some young Mexican guy, but I'm not interested in that because I know why he wants because I'm going to pay for everything.
Yeah,
I'm not saying every.
work.
I'm not saying every young Mexican guy in the in Mexico.
Immigrants.
I'm just saying that generally speaking, when you go to tourist places, I've spent time in Mexico in the wintertime, and they're smart. And the Mexican young girls are smart, and
They
these
know
guys,
what they're doing.
they know what they're doing, and the guys pay for their entire families. So, and then when you're down there, here's you guys might think this is funny, but there's a lot of very poor men who go on their social securities down and they live in Mexico because they can't really afford to live in the United States. And we call them, they're looking for a nurse with a purse. So they're looking
Interesting.
for
Very interesting.
women who
Nurse
have
with a purse.
money, and they're looking for a nurse with a purse because they're retired. They don't really have much more than their social security, and they're looking for a sugar mama.
Let me ask Gina and Tiffany a question. If men are going abroad because they like qualities other women have in other countries or in other cultures, why not try to learn from that?
How we can't change and become
I'm not saying
like
every
someone in another culture.
They can get ahead.
No. I'm not saying change your entire, but learn something. Learn
I
this.
don't even
There
learn
must be some things you can take from that. I mean, there's nothing you can learn from other cultures.
When a man is going to another culture for a young woman from the Philippines or Mexico, and we're 60, and we can't learn that because
No, you can't compete with.
they
You can't
want
compete
to
with that.
mold these women.
You can't
You
compete.
cannot compete with that. You're absolutely right,
compete with
Gina.
that.
You can't compete
I don't
with it.
even know why Carl
Because-
even brought that up because
because I am saying there's something like the guy was saying how he asked the woman for a glass of water and she jogged to the kitchen.
Oh, honey, if you, Carl, if you and I were dating,
let me finish, Gina. Let me finish. Learn something. I mean, there's some qualities. I'm not talking about young and pretty. There's some qualities
I see what you're saying.
that men love about other cultures. They love how
Right.
they cater to them. They love how they
Oh,
come. You
come
know what I mean? They
on.
love
Hey,
how
hey, call, hey,
they love
call, hey,
their
hey,
love.
panel.
You
Check
don't
this
want to
out.
be nothing. You just want to be yourself, and want men to love you for who you are because you're so great and your women are so wonderful, and they should accept me.
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
not at all. You
That's
have
what
Because
you're
no
seeing through your eyes.
idea. If I was dating somebody, do you know I grew up with an Italian family and my
this is
dad
why,
never got off the couch.
and we have two women here who are single, right?
I love being single. It was by
I know
choice
you're
because my
not throwing no shade. Are you throwing
Well, I'm
shade?
trying
You
to.
oh
just got a divorce.
Carl,
Yes, I'm throwing the whole tent.
you and
Well,
I
why
have
would
had
you throw shade
conversations,
and you just
Carl.
had a divorce, Carl?
I just added a whole
Carl,
because I'm saying you can learn from other cultures. If men are going overseas because they like the culture of these women, try to learn something
Women
about what it
are
is.
women.
I hear what you're
Women are
saying, and
Would
women.
you
there's
agree or
there's
disagree? I have to
always
say this.
I absolutely
All
agree that there's things that
in
can be learned.
respectful to what the
Right.
brother is
I can
saying.
learn stuff from.
There is a reason why men are going across seas, and I think it's not about saying we know that the women are younger that they're going for, but it's not about that. It's about what is it that those women are doing
They're passive.
Well,
that
men are
is
attracted to that.
attracting those men.
But you
What
can't
qualities?
it's
And it
because
goes back to what I said earlier to you, Tiffany and Gina, that if a man is doing what he is supposed to be doing and he's upright and outstanding, then why shouldn't you? And I know people don't want to hear this. Why shouldn't you not cater to your man?
I totally cater to my man, but
No,
here's the thing. I'm the way I am because of the men that I've had in my life. I've had to overcome so much
I
so
had
much
my volume off.
because they they aren't what you were describing. I would bring the man the water. I would cook for them. I had married somebody who had children. I was there for that. I was supportive. He was supportive. But the problem is there wasn't good communication. And among other things. So each relationship, and there weren't that many, I had to get stronger and stronger and start over again. I don't know why is it the men don't have to start over, but anyway, and it made me stronger and stronger. So it made me this person that I am. Believe me, I would love
Men have to
to be in
start
a
over.
good relationship. I had to start over, yeah, like financially, house, whatever. I won't ever move in with a man
This
again.
is
But
this is what let me break down the evolution of what how men evolve themselves. So when in general, when women are young, they tend to be more attracted to the guys that make them wet between the legs. So it's usually the guys that are very masculine, the guys that are tall, 6 feet tall, all these requirements that you sometimes have. And then you got the so-called nice guy, the nerd. He's the guy who's going somewhere in life. He reads books. He's going to go to college. He's building himself up. He may not look all cool in high school, but then he begins to go to the gym. He begins to mature into his body. He begins to blossom as he grows in age and he grows in his career, in his wallet. While sometimes some women spend their most formative years when they're youthful
dating
running
the
around
Dirks.
with the Pookies and Ray Rays. I got to keep it real. Messing around with the Pookies and Ray Rays. And the Pookies and Ray Rays, all they're going to do is pump and dump you. You're going to have fun with them. You're going to ride the carousel. You're going to have all this great excitement with them because they're cool, but they're not marriage material. They're not going to be fathers. That's why when they pregnate you, they're not there for the child. They're just there for the good time. And then when those kind of men run through you and you've had your fun with them in your most youthful, fertile years, and now you start to age a little bit, get a little bit older. You don't look the same as you did when you were much, much younger. Now, all of a sudden, the nerdy little nice guy that you overlooked, that you didn't focus on, he's blossomed now. He's looking good. He's got a good wallet. He's living good. He's got a career. Because most men in general, we have to build ourselves up, right? And then that's when you start chasing after those guys who you wasn't checking for in your younger years. Now you're looking for him and he's looking at you like, you've got no value to me. You're older now. You're chasing me now. This guy now has the pick of the litter of younger women.
He gets to go to the Philippines or
Well,
Mexico
no, you've got
or
some
China.
men who don't even have to go to the Philippines to get their pick of the litter of young ladies here in America. Because some of you, I don't want to stereotype, but some older women have overlooked the guys that you said were too damn nice. And now you want them. But when you want those nice guys, when they have now built themselves up and you're like, man, he looking good. I don't remember him looking that good in high school. By the time you chase after him, ladies, he don't want you. You have no more value in his mind. I hate to say that. I hate to say it.
No, but
there's a ring of truth to it.
True. I agree. Agreed. That sounds like a good segue to end the show, Carl.
So I'm about to get off, though. I'm about to get off. I didn't blow up the spot.
Information man.
Yeah.
Before you roll out, bro, I want to say last time I saw you was early January, man, and since then we lost Joe Madison. So
I'm a little. I'm gonna tell you what's been bothering me about it, though. They've been playing the replays of his shows.
Yes.
And for some reason, I can't listen to it because I keep thinking about the man and wishing that he was here to give us more commentary as to about what's going on and here for his family. And
oh my God, I'm the same way, dude. I haven't been able to tune in and listen to him because they still playing his. They're still playing his movie. They're still playing his shows every morning from 6 to 10 p.m. And I have not been able to really tune in. I did listen the other day for like 5 minutes. I turned it off. I can't hear his voice, man, because I know
I'm kind of mad at myself too because he came into my community a couple of years back. And I wasn't able to go and meet him. And I've been wanting to meet him in person for years. So I kind of regret never taking advantage of opportunities to meet him when he's come in my town.
Y'all grieving over
I am grieving because I listened to him religiously for 25 years. I've listened to him even before he got on Sirius, when he was on Radio 1,
Radio 1,
for a long time. So when I tune into the channel and then I hear the replays, I can't listen because
I can't listen either, man. I've been grieving too, man. I can't. It's a grieving thing. I never even thought about it like that with grieving, but I haven't been able to listen to it either, man.
So, Carl, I'm gonna give you an email, or Kev, I'm gonna give you guys an email, and maybe I got a guest coming on my program next Sunday. I'm gonna try to get you guys probably on the following Sunday. I'll send you emails out and try to schedule something
so we can merge.
I want to book something solid. Yeah, we can even merge the programs, but I want to book make sure I book it solid and find out what the topics are that you guys are going to be talking about. But I'm going to get off. This has been great, a much-needed converation.
Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate your perspective, man.
Thank you.
It was great to see you, brother.
I love you, boo.
All right, have a great night, everybody.
Take care, man. All right.
I'm going to go too. Thanks, guys. I love you.
Gina, love you. Good talking to you, Gina. I'll see you on Facebook.
Take care. Absolutely. You too, Kev.
Take care.
Now I have to figure out how to get off this thing.
Just press the X.
I don't have one.
Oh, it's at the bottom. It says leave. Okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah, man.
Are we good? Are we still friends?
Yeah, we still friends, but I need to say a couple of things about dating before we get off so people can just... Okay, so again, we talked about relationships, and this is something that I wrote down that we should do as people, especially with dating. First of all, go out on a date. Do that. We need to start dating one another again, getting to know one another. Definitely we want to check on people mental illness because you don't want to sleep with a crazy person. Okay, we look at their appearance, how they look, because you can also tell if something is wrong with somebody when they come and pick you up. Okay, so we look at those things and recognize red flags so we don't make these same mistakes. Okay, communication. I tell a lot of people, if you cannot communicate with a partner or whoever you are with, that means it's not going to work. So if you don't have communication or the person is not willing to communicate, please move on. Also, social skills. You have to have social skills outside and inside, okay? If you cannot communicate inside, I can't even imagine what you can't do on the outside, because I don't want you to act like make a mistake and want to slap my ass one day in the street, okay? Also your feelings and emotions. You want to be with somebody that have empathy and sympathy of others, or they think about how you feel. You know, that is a major thing because everybody want intimacy. You saw my sister talk today about intimacy. People just want that love, that connection, men and women. Yes, we men want their women to get them some water or feed them or give them a massage. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with being submissive to your man. You understand? And especially if he's that man that you don't have a problem with being submissive to. Because I'm not being submissive to no sucker. Okay? All right.
Damn, Tiff.
Appreciation. We have to learn how to appreciate one another. That's the main thing in a relationship. You do not appreciate your man or you don't appreciate your woman or even let them know. Like Carl said, we have to communicate. Men are very simple. Sorry, booze. Y'all just have to tell y'all, and if y'all don't figure it out, that's on you. But communicate, talk to your man. You know, he's very simple. Okay, stability and financial. Listen, you don't just go into a relationship and be like, listen, you need to have money or I want this money. No, that goes later on. You understand? If you cannot take somebody out or you don't have the money, please don't ask nobody out on a date. You understand? If you don't have a lot of money, you can always take somebody on a walk. You understand? It's always different things, but that's not the first thing. But also, you don't want somebody that don't have no money either, or they can't take care of each other. So I feel that both partners should be able to work and take care of themselves. It shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. Boundaries and red flags. A lot of people don't understand you have to have boundaries. If you feel a certain type of way or you are uncomfortable with something, you have to tell your partner. Don't just cross a boundary or do something and not think that it's not going to affect them or hurt them. Red flags. People should understand what red flags is. When you see something that makes you uncomfortable or don't sit right with your spirit, male or female, please, you have to voice your opinion. And once you do all of this and you go through your dating and you getting to know your person and you say, you know what, I want to be with you forever. I think that people should do pre-marital counseling. Talk, communicate, see what y'all want in the future. What are y'all looking for? If y'all going to do children, you're going to do this, or you're not going to have children. Y'all have to do these main things, and it could work out for you. You understand? So those are just my little tips, you know, of relationships. And you know, when you are in love with somebody or you are into somebody, nothing matters. So that's just my tips.
All right, thanks, Tiffany. Kevin, anything you want to share or that you learned on today's show?
Yeah, I learned that Tiffany's sister sounds like Fantasia.
Yes, she do. Oh, my sister gotta get a man or something. She need a man. She needs something.
The singing career going or something. I learned that this is a 1 hour show, but when Tiff gives her speech on relationship, turns to a 3 hour show. I'm just teasing you, Tiff.
This is
Nah,
going down in history.
it's going down in history. Yeah, no, I learned that that relationships are a complicated thing and always will be. This show is not going to change anything. The divorce rate in America will still be high, and there's a reason for that because we haven't learned to listen to each other, you know. And I think when you find your soulmate, though, and everybody has a soulmate, I think the key is just finding that soulmate. And once you find that soulmate, if you're lucky enough to find it, everything, you know,
Will
fits, you know,
clash.
like a glove, you
Yeah,
know,
fit.
fits like a glove, you know. But
Evenly
that's when you
yoked.
got to. But that's the key is finding that person if it's out there, that soulmate if it's out there, and everybody's not. That's not going to happen for everybody, you know. So you know, it's like everybody's not going to hit the lottery, right? But somebody's going to hit it. Somebody's going to win a couple of $1 million, but it won't be everybody. It's the
Right.
same thing with relationships. Everything's just not going to always work. So it was a great show. Good topic.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, I had lots of fun doing this show. I want to show this last video.
I love you, Carl.
Don't piss me off, Carl.
I love you, and that change, baby.
Thank you, Boo.
You're welcome. Here's some advice. I thought this was a very interesting video.
70% of divorces that happen over 40 are initiated by women. Okay, why is that? Now, I'm not trying to keep everybody married. I'm not trying to get everybody pregnant. I'm just asking people to think of their hormones. Well, as she loses these hormones, there are so many brain changes that are happening. And because she doesn't understand herself, she thinks it's your problem. She thinks it's her teenage kid's problems. She thinks it's her aging parents' problem. She thinks it's work's problem. She doesn't go, oh, okay, wait, I've got some neurochemical changes going on in my brain that I need to make sure that my lifestyle supports. And she doesn't, since that conversation isn't open, she turns on everybody else. For years, I had so many women that came into my clinic and they said, whatever you do, please help me stay out of my doctor's office. And I was like, why? Because they don't understand me. And when they don't understand me, all they do is give me an antidepressant. And I feel so lost in what I'm supposed to do to help my own brain health, help my own body health. And we start dishing out supplements and prescriptions when there's a lifestyle that women are working against.
All right. I hope you all learned something from that video. The main thing in relationship is communication, talking to each other. When I was married, I used to check in, what I call check in every year. I would say, how am I doing? Anything you like that I'm doing? Anything you don't like? That was my thing. Some people have different things. Some people have date night. My thing is to lump everyone into like say all women do this and all men do that. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong because we're all different. We're all very different. Things like a lot of women say every man likes a woman who can cook and who can clean and who can take care of it. I don't care about none of that. Me as the man, I don't care about that. I clean my own house. I cook my own food. I wash my own clothes. I iron my own clothes. I look at Kevin's face.
You're self-sufficient.
I don't need. That's not what is important to me in a relationship. Is the person fun? Are they cool to be around? Are they
right?
I don't need no drama. No. I don't need none of that. So, if a woman looked at me and said, "Oh, I'm going to cook for him. I'm going to clean for him. I'm going to do all this for him," you are not me. I don't care about that. That's not something that I'm attracted to.
Right.
In a woman. So know what the person you're with likes and do that. That's what I always say. If I'm with Tiffany, I'll try to figure out what Tiffany likes. Do that. If I'm with Kevin, and I said,
I like expensive cars, Carl.
That's fine. That's fine. Then I'll work my ass off to get Kevin that expensive car.
Tiffany like expensive Caribbean restaurants.
Yeah, the $100 fish.
Yeah, exactly.
Know what the person you're with likes and do that. Don't ever say, "Oh, all men like this, all women like that."
Everybody's different.
Everybody is different. Everyone is different. And I know I said earlier that all women keep a tally, but I know all women don't keep a tally. But it's a large majority of women that I've seen from watching those shows on TV where they seem to have a list. But I'm not a woman, so I think Charlene said that men keep tallies too. So I've never dated a guy, so I'm sure men,
some men do, not you, but some men do, right?
But men probably keep tallies and say, "I did it," and that's not the kind of person. If I do something for you, I do it for you. I do it because I want to, and I'm done.
For your heart.
I don't. Yeah, it's not in my. I don't keep a tally of it, but apparently there are people out there that do that. So all I can say is find out what the person you're with likes and do that. That's my advice. And
oh, by the way, Patricia bought me my drink while we were done the show.
2 hours.
I had to use my Ike Turner voice to get it, but it got it.
Oh, stop!
I want to thank everyone for watching today's show. Please like, share, subscribe. We need to get our numbers up as with any podcast. We want to get the word out. Nicole Coates, thank you for coming on. Norma Staley, thank you for your input. Gina, thank you for coming on. Charlene, thank you. G Car, thank you. Donna, thank you so much. Who's Slime Queens from Queens? I don't know who that
Well,
is.
thank her anyway.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for joining the
Miss
show.
Sharif,
For all the
Sir
people that
Sharif.
commented. There are a lot more people watching, but of course, not everyone is comfortable commenting because we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, and we're on Twitter. Well, we're on X. Information Man, thank you so much, brother. You did a lot for our show. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. For joining the show today. You know you're welcome anytime. And anyone that wants to join the show, we'll put the link in the chat and you can jump on anytime.
I love you too, Miss Sharif. She's on the YouTube. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So thank you. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. And apparently people love the 70s music. So today we're gonna go out to another 70s.
And we don't own the rights to this music. It's just educational purposes and having fun.
That is correct. We do not own the rights to this song, but please enjoy. And right after this will be our theme song, and we will be out, and we will see you next Sunday. We love you. We love you. We truly appreciate you. I know this is supposed to be an hour show, but it never works.
That relationship thing was deep.
It was. And all right.
Sexy baby, good loving daddy. Ooh, let me be your rocking chair. Just rock me away from here. Let's get it on. Come to me, baby. Ooh, let me be your rocking chair. Just rock me away from here. Let your arms shelter me from all hurt and pain. Light my heart with your everlasting flame. Church baby, good loving daddy. Ooh, let me be your rocking chair. Rock me away from here.
You got me rocking in this
Yeah, so I had to blow the dust off my eyes for that one. That's that song.
Yeah, I love that song. All right, people. We'll see you guys next Sunday. And thanks again for
Yeah,
joining.
next Sunday. Peace and love, everybody.
All right.
With the knowledge you gain, break away from the chains. We helping you grow, the Black Therapy Show. You be in a safe space, dealing with the black trauma. We unpacking and inspecting all our baggage and drama. Cause we gotta unite, no more killing each other. It's time to see a new future for my sisters and brothers. You know, with Kevin, Carl, and Tiffany, you'll have an epiphany. We'll give you everything you need to handle the enemy. We're giving you empathy, we gon' challenge you mentally. The right conversation so you grow exponentially. We built your penitentiaries, we built all your schools. Gave us brainwash education, just making us fools. Hatred was what we got in exchange for love. No more manipulation from my God up above. No, it's Carl, Kevin, and Tiffany. Now welcome to the Black Therapy Show. Let's go.
Let's go. Happy birthday to my niece.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, niece.
Sadine.
In New York?
Yeah, she's in Georgia. She's in Augusta. Happy birthday. Love you. Mwah.
All right.